friends. Are you a business owner or a content creator perhaps who is looking to expand your online presence? We're going to talk all about this in this episode. Lots of tips and tricks of the trade and sharing with you everything I have learned as a 10K influencer. You don't want to miss this. Stay tuned. And welcome to my channel. I am Cher. I blog a hodgepodge of different topics, primarily beauty, lifestyle, and parenting disabilities. But in today's episode, we're going to be discussing that a little bit about how I got to this hodgepodge of different topics and how my blogging and YouTube and influencer business, all of these things came to be. So it's a really special episode for me because this is in honor of hitting a huge milestone, pretty much my biggest dream. I just hit 10,000 followers on my Instagram page. If you are not familiar with me and you don't follow me there, my page is Cher Shares Beauty, as in share, me shares beauty with you. So you can find me, I will link it for you. I'm also linking all of my information down below in the caption for you to find all my stuff easily. So in honor of this beautiful, beautiful day, beautiful week, I felt like I just really wanted to kind of give back and offer some tips on how you can do it too, if this is your dream. And I just kind of want to share my story. I thought about doing a giveaway. I thought about, what can I do to celebrate 10K? And I don't know, I just feel inspired to share. Okay, so the way that I'm planning to organize this episode is I'm going to break down information for you based on each social media platform. There's some general principles that apply across the board, when it comes to growth and engagement, that are just common for all of them, but each social media platform is kind of a beast in and of itself. They all have different rules, they all have different strategies, different growth tactics, so I'm going to try to tackle each beast in and of itself. I did do a story on my page asking for input for just questions that some of you and other people on my Instagram might have in particular, and most of them were questions I figured most people would have. So we'll be addressing those questions, answering them, and it will probably be naturally answered as we break these into pieces. I actually ended up going way too long-winded on this video, and I have so much information to give you that I don't think it's going to all fit into one video. So we are going to break this into two parts, and on the first part, we're going to discuss just kind of my general story, giving you a background on my roots, and then we're going to get into some general growth principles. Then on part two, we'll break it down by social media platform. So just wanted to let you know how we're going to organize this and let you know what to expect. So I'm first going to kind of share my story and my journey in the influencer world, just so that you have a background info on me and know what my experience has been. I'm very self-taught. I have done everything pretty much on my own, but it kind of started off as a journal. I started journaling a lot of my experiences as a special needs mom. And so, I have two kids with disabilities, one with type 1 diabetes and one with autism. One day I just decided, I might turn this into a blog. I was like, how do you make a blog? I had no idea. So I started asking my dad, because my dad has done a lot of website design and a little bit of, launching websites and all himself, and has had some ideas that he's kicked around. So I turned to him and he gave me a few tips about websites. So we went ahead and set up a WordPress blog. I started putting it to Instagram and then set up a Facebook page. And of course, like every blogger and every content creator and every business first starts off, you put all this inspiring, wonderful content out there and it's crickets and nobody comes. And you're like, why doesn't anybody want to see my stuff? Well, that's the key principle there is you can have all the talent in the world. You can be this incredible artist. You can be the best in your trade, but if you don't know how to promote yourself and put it out there and, market it, ain't nothing gonna happen. And I will go ahead and tell you that in this, really in any business that you're trying to promote your stuff and all, probably about 20% of it is actual content creation, is the actual content. And 80% of it is, well, maybe not 80%. I don't know. I would say 60% of my day is spent on marketing and growth. And then maybe like 20 is content creation and another 20 is just the admin, all the mundane shit you got to do behind the scenes. Excuse me, I'm just going to go ahead and warn you that I cuss. So continuing with my story, basically I started off in the special needs parenting niche, and I decided, okay, I think I'm going to monetize. I think I want to move in that direction because I had read in a lot of articles that you could start monetizing immediately with some simple things. And, everybody always has questions about like, when is the right time to monetize? Honestly, any time is. Some say, wait till you have a whole bunch of traffic. Others say, go ahead and do it. I went ahead and did it. And I'm glad that I did because I got that experience. I made pennies, but it gave me the experience, and it was, it led to other contacts, and everything was like a bridge to the next step. So I personally recommend going ahead and monetizing from the start. Of course, you do have to have a certain amount for some programs to accept you, so depending on how you're monetizing, and we can talk about some of that in a little bit. But anyway, so I went ahead and decided I wanted to monetize. So just so you know, if you're doing a blog and you start a blog site, you want to get the WordPress version that is monetizable. You don't want just a little personal site. And so you want to get like a domain site to do it through. I have GoDaddy, and honestly, I was just lucky that my dad happened to have extra domains. But anyway, so that's kind of where it started. And over time, I started doing a lot of research, just started reading a lot of articles on blogging. From there, I just started building my special needs blog, and I started growing on Instagram, and was doing pretty well with it, and learned a lot that I needed to know about like Instagram and blog websites and all of that through the special needs niche side. About a year ago, though, a little over a year ago, it's not that I was getting burned out. It was that some of the things I was blogging about were just very personal in nature. And, my daughter especially is hitting that age. She's turned a teenager where she doesn't really want all her shit out there for the whole world to know, and my son was getting older as well. And, here I am posting picture after picture of my kids all over the internet. It kind of, especially with some of these mom blogs, it comes down to a matter of like privacy for your kids. And it just kind of started weighing on my heart that I really needed to find a way to still do what I love doing, which was blogging, but in a way that didn't violate my kids' privacy. I really wanted to focus on things that were more about me, more of my hobbies and interests, more what makes me me. So I decided to just kind of experiment and start a new page. I just decided to set up a new Instagram page, and I was like, I'm going to focus more on the beauty niche. So I started my Shares beauty page, and it took off. And because I already knew and had everything down on like how to blog and how to build a page, I was able to just kind of hit the ground running on it instead of having to spend time learning. And so, I've spent the last year, like over a year, working from that page. And then I struggled with my two babies. What do I do with my special needs parenting page versus the beauty page? That is kind of where I'm at, and have now hit the big 10K over on Instagram, and I'm hoping to catch up on my other platforms as well. Okay, and so one of the questions I did have in my stories was break it down and give us 5 top principles for growth, strategies for growth. These are probably very elementary, but I'm just going to give you these 5 kind of general principles of growth, and we will definitely talk in more detail, though, I promise. Okay, so general. Top 5, I would say, for growing as an influencer or blogger or business. 1, engagement. Gotta have engagement. That's how you start off, and we'll talk about that in a minute. 2, kind of feeds into the engagement part, relationships. It is all about relationships. 3, your content strategy, having good content, having it geared towards marketing it to people, thinking about your consumer. 4 is your SEO language, which we'll talk about that in a minute. It's kind of like your keywords, how you're describing your content and, to get it picked up by the platforms the right way. And 5th is consistency, persistence. So, as I discussed before, like I said, you could be completely brilliant. You can be so talented. You could have the best content in the world. And if you don't know how to market it and get it seen, it's worthless. I mean, that's just all it is. You got to be thinking from a marketing standpoint, how to get it out there. So your basic idea in social media, all of the social media platforms are the same in that they pay the most attention and put the content out there for other people to see more when they see basically top engagement, which means those big blogs and pages that are already getting a ton of likes and comments on it and shares and, saves on some. The ones that are getting the most attention already are the ones that platform is going to continue promoting to other people to see. That's kind of your basic principle. So it's kind of hard when you're brand new and you're not already a big blog, right? Or a big page, because there's nobody there yet. You're the one who needs it to be seen the most, right? So it doesn't seem hardly fair, does it? But what your job is to go ahead and start trying to find engagement. Try to get people to comment on your stuff, to share your stuff, to subscribe, to save, you name it. And so your job with anything you're putting out there is, for every post, for every blog post, for whatever you're doing, it's kind of that 80-20 principle I was telling you about. You're going to spend, however long you spent creating it, you're going to spend like 5 times that on promoting it. So you need to just get that in your head that your job is to promote it. Okay. So I'll talk to you a little bit about how you do that across each platform. Another principle is relationships. I mean, it is just everything comes down to relationships. So, and building trust and credibility, part of it is getting out there and just, I kind of do believe a bit in karma. It's like when you give, you receive. So however much you are engaging on other people's content and, doing things for other people, thinking about what's useful to other people, the more you're thinking from other people's standpoint, the more you're going to get back. I mean, is really it in a nutshell. And I have just seen this so much. That's been like the number one key for building my platforms, is building those relationships with other people, because that's what makes them invest in you. That's what makes them invest in your stuff. Okay, another principle that I want to hit home is thinking from that marketing point of view. Okay, even if you are super talented and you have something that's really good stuff, you got to think about, like, what is it that actually makes a person comment on it, like it, share it? What is it that's going to make a person want to follow that all the time? And so first of all, I just want to encourage you, if you feel discouraged or feel like your talent has taken a hit, you know, don't take it as like oh, I'm not talented, I'm not good, my work isn't good. It's more like people are selfish. They are going to think from a how does this benefit me standpoint. So you want to always think of your content in a way that's useful to people, that is what do they want to see, what are the kind of things that are going to make them, even if they like to see it, they might not want to consistently follow you just to see that, you know? So I always try to think about, for example, on an Instagram Explorer page, what are the things that catch my eye instantly? And some of the things I'm interested in don't even catch my eye. Like, I'm very into makeup, but seeing 100 pictures of like makeup palettes out on the Explorer page do nothing for me. Like, it doesn't catch my eye. But if I see an up close picture of somebody contouring their nose and it's a video, a reel of it or something, and it's right there in my face, I'm gonna click and be like, oh, what are they doing? Like, because they knew how to instantly grab my attention, you know? And then if it was really helpful and I start peeking at the rest of their page and they have all these great tips, I might go ahead and hit follow, you know? So thinking of like, how do you instantly catch their attention, and how do you have your page or your blog or whatever you're on in a setup that like people feel like they're going to continue to get useful, good information. Those are just some of the marketing strategies. Is always trying to think from the consumer point of view of like, what's going to make people interested. Another basic principle of growth across all the platforms is what's called SEO, search engine optimization, I think is what it stands for. And this is called something different across different platforms, but the basic idea is just understanding your keywords, understanding when people are looking for things. So like on Instagram, it's going to be more in the form of like hashtags, your hashtag strategy. On your blog website, it's going to be more what you're calling the titles and subtitles and tags and all. It's just understanding, optimizing your keywords, how you're describing your content and the captions and the tags and all. So we'll talk about that in more detail with each platform as well. Okay, and then the other is going to be consistency, which I always heard this in every article, and it frustrated me to no end because I was a very consistent person. I poured my heart into my blogs and everything every day. And you can be so consistent, but if you don't know what it is you're being consistent on, that doesn't help you. But consistency definitely is key. If you are not going into this with this is my job and I'm going to do this every single day, and you just intend that you're going to spend certain number of hours a day on just like this, it gets you like an actual schedule where you check off every day, making your rounds on there, and just get that in your head that you got to do this every day. It's not something that's going to be just like, whenever I feel like it. It's not going to grow that way. I will just tell you that from the start. And if you can't be consistent, even if it's not every day, no, it's got to be every day. I will tell you that probably the only day in the last 2 years that I have not worked on my blog was on Christmas this last year. I took a day off, one day. And I'm not sure that I even really took a day off because I did post my vanity in my stories. So technically that was work, but yeah. So if you're not ready to put in that work, it's probably not going to be an area for you. And honestly, along the lines of consistency, I just want to press home the importance of persistence. Keep going. You're going to have so many days that just are discouraging, that you will think to yourself, I put in so much time, so much effort, and where am I getting? And it can be very discouraging because with social media, even with personal social media, we get very hooked on likes and kind of helps us feel validated. And it's hard when this is your job, because if you're not getting the likes, you're not feeling very validated, right? So you have to kind of just get this tough skin that you just know that the nature of blogging is going to be ebbs and flows, and that sometimes you're going to have to just force things. I mean, it's kind of like sales. Sometimes it is about really pushing through to close that deal. I mean, there have been weeks when I have literally had 100 people unfollow me. Okay, I mean, and you would think, if you let that, oh, Kitty came to say hi. If you let that determine everything for you, you can give up very easily. But here I am, I'm at 10,000 now. So, if I had stopped back when 100 people left me in a week, where would I be? So I just want to say that to encourage you, because this is the truth, and the raw emotions behind it is that some influencers make it look so easy. It is not easy. And if they claim it is, they're bullshitting you. I'm sorry, they just are. So, I mean, honestly, the biggest lesson is just, if you want it, keep going. Don't give up. And I am a big believer in manifesting and believing in yourself. You have something to contribute. You are of value. Your content is of value. You have to know yourself and know your talent and know what you have to offer people. And you focus on that. I hope that this helped you tremendously. Everything I could think of, I was trying to summarize but give good detail at the same time. And I really hope that that helps if you are looking to grow. And yeah, good luck to anybody who is starting on this journey. And again, I just thank you for the support. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sticking it out here. And that about wraps it up. So again, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And thanks for watching, and take care.